1939 to 1958. Etta was born on the very same day World War II began. She had eyes like the Atlantic Ocean and was red-faced and pudgy from the beginning. She fell in love with the first boy she ever met, the town's doctor's son. His name was Louis and was polite and well-spoken, not common among the boys she knew. And he wasn't the type to care that Etta hasn't been born with the lack of good look. Louis walked Etta to school with one hand behind his back from very first day of the school to their last, and Etta was charmed by things like that. Her family owned hundreds of acres of cornfield. When Etta turned 18 and told her father she wanted to marry Louis, he insisted his new son-in-law had to learn how to farm. He has no sign he has no son of his own and he wanted Lois to take over family business. But Etta thought her father just wanted to prove a point to the young man. Farming was hard and respectable work. It wasn't for the weak and certainly wasn't for the intellectual. Etta had chosen someone who was nothing like her father. Louis has planned to be a doctor like his own father and had a scholarship waiting for medical school. But he wanted Etta hand in marriage more than he wanted the medical license. Despite Etta's plea to take it easy on him, her father worked Lois to the bone. He was up at 4 o'clock every morning and out into the airfields 4 in the morning until dusk. And as Etta liked to remind people, he never complained once. Lois sold the medical bag and textbook that his own father had passed down to him, and he put the money in the jar on their kitchen counter. He told Etta it was the start of a college fund for their future children. Et- Etta thought this said a lot about his selfless kind of the man he was. One fall day before the sun rose, Louis was served by the waiter and the sandwich wagon. He bled to death alone in the cornfield. Etta's father found him and sent her to cover up the body to drop from the barn. He carried Louis' managed leg back to the warm house and threw it at her father's head while he was weighing the bucket of the water meant to wash away the blood of the wagon. She ha, hadn't told her family yet, but the children growing inside her. She was a big woman, 70 pounds overweight, and hid the pregnancy well. The baby girl, Cecilia, was born 4 months later in the kitchen floor in the middle of snowstorm. Etta stirred the jar of the money on the counter above her. Well, she pushed the baby down. Etta and Cecilia lived quietly at the farmhouse and rarely went ventured to the town. When they did, it wasn't hard to hear everyone whisper about the woman who suffered from the nerve in those days. Not much more was said. Not much more was suspected. Louis' father gave Etta's mother a great supply of sedative to give to Etta as she was fit. And so Etta spent most days in the small best bed in the home she grew up in, and her mother took care of Cecilia. But Etta soon realized she would never meet another man lying up like that in the bed. She learned to function well enough and eventually started to take care of Cecilia, pushing her around the tent with the stomach and while the poor girl screamed for her grandmother. Edna told people she been plagued with high label chronic stomach pain that she couldn't eat for months on end. That's how she got so thin. Nobody believed this, but Etta didn't care about their lazy gossip. She had just met Henry. Henry was new to the town and they went to the same church. He managed to staff off 60 people at a candy manufacturing plant. He was sweet to Edna for the minute they met. He loved babies and Cecilia was particularly cute. So she turned out not to be the problem everyone said she'd be. Before long, Henry brought them to the style house with mint green trim in the middle of the town. Etta left the brass bed for good and came back all the way she lost. She took herself into making a home for her family. There was a wallpaper porch with a swing, less curtains on every window, and chocolate chip cookie always on the oven. One day, their new living room furniture was delivered to the wrong house, and the neighbors had the women set it up all in her best when even when she hadn't ordered it. When Etta got wind of this, she ran on the street after the truck, laying for vanity in her housecoat and curls. This gave everyone a good laugh, including eventually Etta. She tried very hard to be the woman she was expected to be, a good wife, a good mother. Everything seems to like it would be just fine.